What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're back over here at the shop. We're at the Underground Garage. I'm sorry, it's not the Underground Garage, it's Underground Garage. It's on YouTube. Go check out his YouTube channel. But he's here in Garner too, so he does a lot of dyno. We're here at his house, and he's got this awesome shop. This is Mike's Challenger. We got it on the dyno again today. He's done a few upgrades, got a little bit bigger blower, so we're gonna see if this thing make a little bit more power. New headers, new cold side. Done a lot of work on it. Looks pretty good. Todd Wester's over here too. Y'all remember him with the Nova. He's now supercharged as well. Check this out, guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. Mike, are you excited? Maybe. That seems nervous. So,
I'm afraid to blow the damn thing up again.
So Josh, you work on cars over here too?
I do not. This is just a massively overgrown hobby.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah.
So he's got a man. That's my type of friend right here. Got a chassis dyno at the garage at the house.
I do rent it out from time to time.
Right.
If somebody out there wants to use the dyno, you just find the YouTube channel and hit me up or something like that. Typically, I do $100 an hour, or you can do an 8-hour day for $500.
Oh, you can't beat that.
So, and I try not to do any tuning myself. I just am too afraid to make the call and have it go wrong and blow somebody's stuff up. So really, I'm just renting out the dyno, so you do your own thing on the dyno.
So Josh is like me. He is not a professional tuner. He's a professional hobbyer, and that's me. And Mike has entrusted my non-professional abilities into this professionally built car, which makes me a little nervous too. That's the reason he's nervous, is because I'm nervous. It's kind of so no, I think we'll be fine though. So y'all remember last time we had this thing on the dyno, we had some problems with the air fuel ratio. So he paid Harry Darnell H&D Fabrication to build these headers and the cold side stuff, and that stuff turned out phenomenal. And so this looks really good. It has the oxygen sensor is way down there. It is some type of kit. Profab. It's from Profab. It collects the information from all these. And right now it seems like it is reading pretty good, solid data. He also went ahead and added another blow-off valve. So he's got 2 blow-off valves now. One of the things that we're having an issue with is the 2 blow-off valves. Since both of those are open at idle, there's a lot of air that is not going into the motor. It's coming out. It's venting, which is what you want it to do. So it was pretty rich. So we ended up having to take a lot of fuel out of the idle circuit when it was idling. I say idle circuit in the idle fuel table. Going back to my carburetor days there, the idle circuit. But so we're gonna make some pulls. Not looking to make a ton of power, just looking to pick up a little bit of power, and then hopefully be nice and safe and drive it out of here. All right, guys, so first pull was a real quick little pull. We had a little bit of correction. It was adding a little bit of fuel. We had about 17, 18 degrees of time, and it made about 28 pounds of boost. It smoked the tires on the dyno, so it spun a little bit, but we did make some good power. You can see the graph is going up. It's got the biggest pulley on it you can get. So, I mean, it made 938, so that's a decent amount of power. We're real conservative, so hopefully we'll see what happens here in a minute. We're going to try to make a longer pull. We're going to pull some plugs and see what we can see on that. What do you think, Mike? It blew a bunch of stuff off the walls. It feels more
tearing his shop up again.
It feels more powerful just with that little pull.
It shook the floor.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. All right, here we go. All right, guys, so that was a second pull, and it made a little bit more power. Put a little bit of timing in it, cleaned up the fuel map a little bit more RPM. It did make almost 30 pounds of boost, but 1,034. Woo! Cleaned up 100 horsepower on that pull. It did make a little bit more boost. It made 30 pounds of boost. He put new plugs in it. When you look at this plug, you can kind of see the real shiny and then the dull. This one looks like it is about half, maybe just a little bit more than half, of starting to change colors there. Timing mark, it kind of depends on who you ask. Some people will say that is the definitive timing mark right there on that bend. Some people will say the timing has not yet got to the end of the plug. So for me, we're going to leave it there because at the end of a run, that was only a little bit over a second pull. And, you know, we're going to leave it there and it should be fine.
Go dangerous?
Should we change the pulley and go? That'll speed the blower up a little bit.
Yes, it will.
I don't know.
I'll have to rev it out to 8,000 or whatever.
I mean, that's up to y'all. I mean, it's just going to make the boost a little bit faster. And because right now you're still, what, 300, 400 RPM off of RPM max of recommended blower speed?
We'll try this one and see what it does, and then we'll change it.
So, I mean, this motor is it's a hydraulic roller, but, I mean, you know, it only spun to 7,300 RPM that pass, so it can go higher. I think we're definitely pretty close. We're doing a little bit of individual cylinder tuning, not much, just making a few corrections here and there. That's based on EGT is what I'm trying to correct there. So we're going to try to make another pull here in a second. Is so loud. Wow. Oh my.
I don't know how his neighbors don't kill us.
Like we're out there like 20 feet away and it still just rattles you.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, guys, so we made a little bit less power this time, but you can see it was the red one was the graph before. This blue one here is the last run. So it made like 950. He didn't rev it as high, but we had an issue. He saw it in the car. We lost the oxygen sensor. And so when you look at the data log, when you look at this one, when you pull the file open, so this is our run here. So down here on the bottom, something I was working on, trying to make it better on this little tip in. Right here, the purple line is O2. And you see target is the bottom one there. So the actual target was 4.1075. It's getting better. I added fuel there. It was like 8 something earlier. So that's just right at the very beginning of the run. But you can see target is down here and then suddenly it loses oxygen sensor. So if you watch, it's a little bit fat here and then it loses oxygen sensor. Oxygen sensor basically pegs out. It goes instantly to 12.4. At first I said, okay, well maybe it ran out of fuel. See, fuel pressure is still up, and usually that's a gradual loss. But this time, it looks like it lost it for some reason, and then it went to add in fuel. And so that's why he felt it in the car, and, you know, he reacted to that, and it just went ahead and, you know, it bumped, and so he didn't rev it near as hard. So, I mean, this whole pull right here, you can see, I mean, this is 1.2 seconds. So, I mean, he reacted within, like, you know, less than a half a second to what he felt. And what he felt was it kind of bumped the RPM a little bit because it added fuel. So we just cranked it up. It said it was heating And so maybe, I don't know if this thing needs a bleed on it, or maybe the oxygen sensor, I mean, maybe it's just bad. I mean, how old is that oxygen sensor? Did that one get run all last year? I mean, it's possible that we got a bad sensor. And if we pull up any of the runs before, so let's do a comparison real fast. So if we compare it to this one here, you see it was right on track doing the exact same thing. And then down here, you see the oxygen sensor never come back. It just stayed pegged at 12.5. But we were running about what we needed to, and see if I'd got that a little bit better. So I got to work on that still, making that tipping part on the lower boost so it's better. But it just lost it. And you can see, I mean, it's just one of those things, you know, this is a great thing about a dyno. All right, guys, so they cleaned the oxygen sensor. It had a little bit of rust buildup on it. So we're going to see if that works. I don't know if that's going to work or not. But what I did is I went in here to the closed loop and the learn, and basically made it so that it cannot do so much correction. If you look back at the other data logs that we had, it was really not correcting a lot down there on the high RPM. So I think we're fine just by turning it down a little bit here. We need to see, we're trying to see basically if this thing will make more power, which we think it's going to, spinning it a little higher. And he's got a different pulley, so he might take the other pulley and stick on it and make the boost a little bit faster early so we don't have to spin the motor quite as hard. So that's where we're at right now. We're gonna make one more pull with this blower level and try to spin it just a little bit higher. All right, guys, the O2 sensor is dead. We got no reading at all on the O2 sensor. You can see it's supposed to be reading measure. It just pegged out 12.5. Never did anything. We did rev it a little bit higher. He was able to get a little higher. So it did make more boost, 7,600, and it made 31.3 pounds of boost. You see target air fuel ratio was 3.6, but it was adding 2% of fuel because I turned that correction off. So, but we don't know what actual air fuel ratio is. So I could turn that off. I think it's a little bit rich there. We could turn that correction off and have it on 0, but you know, it's one of those things, you got EFI, you want the data. So he's gonna order him another sensor. They have gone up. Those Holley NTK sensors are now $302. So they've gone a little high, but you know, it is what it is. It's something you gotta have. But I don't know if he's...
Price you pay to race.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, that's it. We're going to be done for today. I mean, we could kind of try to chance it and just tune by the plug, but it's really not worth it. So we're going to look at the plugs, though, since we did make a little bit more boost that pass. See what they look like, but I think we're going to be done. He's going to order an oxygen sensor, and then we will be set. All right, guys. Comment, like, and subscribe. Go to Underground Garage to go check out some more dyno vids. And if you need some dyno time where you're in control of your own destiny, this is the place to come. Hit them up. Later, guys.